The laser precision pointer is available in two sizes. Actually, the size of the laser doesn't change at all. It's the length of the cable that is attached to it. We have a 14-inch version, which is used on this machine here. I've got it mounted right here, and then the power pack is mounted right to the side of the machine right here. And this cable length is 14 inches. We also have it in a longer length. This is 48 inches long from the tip up here to the end of the cable. And it's a standard USB cable, so it's a 5-volt system. And the current rating on the pointer is low enough that this can be plugged into any USB port or any battery pack or battery substitute. Now, in our kit, we have not only the laser with its adhesive backing, we also have a battery pack, which we call the Precision Pointer Power Bank, like this. It's small. It's about maybe 4 inches long and about 3/4 of an inch square. And that it allows you to plug the pointer right into the end, into the USB port end. And it has a smaller port, so when it's time to charge, you can charge this power bank up using any cell phone charger, basically any new cell phone charger that has a USB port. You can use it to charge this, and it has its own little cable, so the charging cable for it. So you basically plug in the charging cable into the small port, and then here's a regular USB port or USB connector that can be plugged into any USB port. So you can charge it up on your computer or in one of those little power banks that plugs into the wall, and then you plug it into the USB port on the power bank. And that will charge up. Now our battery pack here can support our laser for about 48 hours continuous. I've left this on a couple of days in a row and without any problems. In fact, it probably could go to 72 hours, but just to be safe, I'm going to say that a fully charged power bank will last you about 48 hours. And that's nice just in case you leave it plugged in overnight and you come back to quilt the next day. As long as you started with a charged battery pack, you've got a little bit of latitude there. Our battery pack has a little switch on it too, so you can turn it on and turn it off when you're not using it. Now, a word about safety with any laser pointer. Now, this is a laser pointer. It is a real laser. It is not a toy. It's not to be messed around with children or pets or anything like that. It is meant to be used as a precision pointer for the QBOT. And I've got it turned off here, but I'll turn it on. You can see, I'll flash it at the camera a little bit. You can see that it's a laser, it's a point. You never want to look into the end of it. You can look on it on the screen, what I'm doing right now, but never look into the end of this laser. Always make sure it's disconnected before you look into it. You will probably never ever look into it. There's never any reason to after you have it focused in your position. We pre-focus this laser to about 6 to 8 inches in spot size. Now, in the end, you can use a regular screwdriver. You don't have to worry about well, you do have to worry about one thing. You don't want to use a very small screwdriver. You kind of want to use a regular size screwdriver, maybe with an 1/8 inch wide blade up to maybe 3/16 of an inch blade. Anything too small and you have the chance to damage the lens that's in there, and you don't want to do that. If you need to adjust the focus on the laser, you can screw the outer housing just a little bit, 1/4 turn at a time, in or out, to get the dot that shows up on your quilt as sharp as possible. But as I said, we try to tune all of these to be around 6 to 8 inches in distance is the focal length. Now, so I've talked about safety, talked about the battery pack, talked about how to charge this. We also, one other thing, just because it's nice to be able to mount this, we don't want to have this dangling. We send along with each battery, we send along some Velcro to stick onto the back of the battery pack, and then one side to the battery pack and one side to the sewing machine. A little tip there is, before you attach the Velcro, to the battery pack and to the sewing machine. Use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol to clean the area. That takes off any residual oils and gives a nice good surface for the Velcro sticky stuff to stick to. Now I've got mine mounted here on the side of the machine. It can pop off and on as needed. Now since I rely on the machine and I do a lot of quilting, I have 2 battery packs. On our website we offer the kit as the laser. You choose the length that you'd like of the cord, and with 1 battery pack, and then another option is the laser with 2 battery packs. I would say if you're a professional quilter relying on this every day, get the 2 battery packs. If you're a weekend warrior quilter, then I would say just make sure that you charge up your battery pack so that when the weekend comes, you're ready to quilt. And I would only get the 1 battery pack. To mount this, we'll go to our other cam here, which is manually operated by me and not nearly as stable, but I will show you. We peel off, basically you just peel off the backing of the adhesive tape that's on the laser pointer part. Just grab that and expose the back of that foam tape. And then what you do is, and I've already got one mounted here on the side of my machine, right there. You can see it already mounted. But once you peel the backing off, you just stick it on the side of the machine. Now, I would do this, and I've just put mine on there like that. Now, I would do this with the laser on so that you can get a pretty good idea of where you want the dot to be. And I will, just to show that, I'm going to plug this new one in and show you the difference here. Plug that in and I will turn it on. And you can see that the other light that just comes on right there. There. So I got them pretty close, and I wasn't even looking at where I was aiming it. And if I can peel this off, since I just put it on, I might be able to peel it off again. I could align that. If you look at the dots, I could start aligning it and say I wanted it right about there, and then I could stick it permanently. And then say that's where I wanted it. It gives you the opportunity to place it kind of where you would like to see it. Again, it's not absolutely necessary for you to be very precise in the placement. It just needs to be located where it's comfortable for you to look at it. Because we use the precision offset, we use that laser offset calibration feature in the V3 app to then dial in everything. So placement is not critical at this point with regard to where it is with respect to the needle. It is important so that when you are quilting, it's in a location that you want to look at so that you can see the dot nicely. So back to the machine. Once you have that attached to the side of the sewing machine, you can see that this cable is loose. And one of the things that can happen if this cable is loose is, and I'll try to show it here, I'll exaggerate, you see if I start tugging on it, that laser pointer moves. And if that laser pointer moves, the point moves. Well, if you want to have this precision, you need to make sure that you tie down that cable with the included strain relief and wire tie. So you want to really have this laser, once it's stuck on there, you don't want to be messing with it. You want to have it stuck on there and let the adhesive set for 24 hours. Even though it's a sticky pad, the adhesive, once it's exposed to air, it starts to cure like a traditional adhesive. And it might shift slightly as that adhesive is curing. Certainly after you push the thing on and you compress the foam and you let go, the foam moves a little bit back and forth. So you don't want to run the calibration routine 2 seconds after you attach it. Wait about 10 minutes and then run the calibration routine. But it's also very important that you use that strain relief pad and the wire tie so that the cable going to the laser pointer doesn't get jostled around. After that, you can plug in the other end of the cable to the battery pack and find a suitable location for the battery pack on the side of the machine. Now, back to my machine. Here, I'll show you, here is my wire tie right there. That's where I placed it in its strain relief pad, and you can see that if I move this up here, that motion doesn't translate down below. It's taken out all in this strain relief pad, and of course that's why they call it a strain relief. It relieves that strain, and so it doesn't go into the rest of the cable and affect my laser pointer. Then here I have my battery mounted right on the side of the machine. I put one piece of Velcro tape on the machine and then the other piece on the back of my battery pack, and then I just stick it to the machine. Just like that. And when I'm ready to use it, I press the power button and it turns it on, and when I'm not using it, I turn it off. And that's basically the whole installation procedure for the laser precision pointer that we offer. I started at the beginning with a little tip about safety and at the end about safety, and I can't stress this enough. This is a real laser. It is like we're used to, a laser pointer, but it's not a toy, not for children, and not for pets. Even though it might be fun for pets, it is not for pets, okay? And I mean that seriously. So enjoy the laser pointer, and until next time, happy quilting.